That is not the button I meant to push. So apparently we're going to focus on...
Yeah, I don't want to be the focus of this. Please don't.
What is that one for?
That's for the top down.
That's for top down.
Oh,
for top
that
down.
makes sense.
Which we don't have running right now, obviously. So welcome once again to Casual Cactus and our mostly weekly D&D game. As you might have noticed over the last couple of weeks, we haven't been doing it because real life occasionally gets in the way. It happens. My apologies, but we're just real people playing the game, so sometimes the schedule gets a little wonky. If you guys want to keep track of our wonky schedule, then I would suggest that you go out to our Discord server, because we do have a channel there that keeps tabs on what's happening when. It occurs to me I did not update it for this week, so bad on me, but normally we do in fact have that updated so you guys know what's happening when. Typically we also run 2 streams a week, which I realize I didn't do yesterday either. So I am 0 for 2 on this announcement.
We had company 2 weeks in a row.
We did have company 2 weeks in a row, so again, real life happens, but if you want to keep tabs on when real life is happening around here, check out the Discord server. All of our video content does wind up on YouTube channel, and I have to update this because YouTube has updated and made it a whole lot easier to find us on YouTube. But you can go out to the tube of views and search for Casual Cactus, spelled just like the channel name here, Casual with a C, Cactus with a leading K, all smushed together as one word, and you can find everything that we've done video-wise. All of our past playthroughs, all of our video content that we do does wind up on the YouTube channel. Eventually. So while you're over there, do hit like and subscribe. What, did I forget to upload the last episode?
Yes.
It's fine. It's still up on Twitch.
0 for 3.
Aw.
Yeah.
I was gonna
0 for
try
3.
I forgot that it's still on Twitch. Dang it.
So all of the video content does eventually wind up on YouTube. We've got full playthroughs, one-shots, talking about the game, some VR stuff, some board gaming, whole lot of everything. It's all out there. If you haven't already, do hit like and subscribe when you get there. Turn on the notifications, and you will always know when new content goes up. That is all the time I'm going to take for that, because clearly if I don't, I'm just going to embarrass myself even further. So we are going to head right over to the main table. And this is the point where I will ask, who would like to do a recap of what we did last time?
I have notes.
It sounds as though Danny has notes and Lance watched the episode. So I suspect we're going to go to that side of the table, unless somebody over here wants to chime in.
This is all that made it into my bag.
Was it because the bag was so small, or did you eat the rest?
Stephanie took out her book to decorate it and left it.
Do you guys see that on the character sheet and stuff?
So this is going to be fun for. This is going to be fun for Nick.
I feel that this is quite appropriate.
Yes.
Oh,
Honestly,
absolutely.
yes. You are just very
Absolutely.
It
much
is in character. If any time Nick's needed to do anything, she's like, I would, but I'm eating.
Also, I love your haircut. So, yes.
All right, so we'll go to this side of the table then, to Lance and Danny to collaborate on a recap.
Do you want me to start?
Sure.
Because this is a whole bunch of like gibberish to me that may or may not
Sure,
work.
go for it.
Okay. At least I'm pretty sure that this is all from last week. Rain and Lyra catch us up just as the dag grabs Simi by the shoulders. Okay, yeah. So we start in the little nomad circle thing.
Right.
She asks why he is touching her, and she storms fully away. Simi goes and does justice, and then kicks Akarai out. Ilaria gets uncursed by an interrupting Lucas. Then sends a note to Simi through Killian. Ilara, is that his name?
Yep.
Something like that.
Okay.
I'll have to look at my notes.
Killian has yet to actually give that note to Simi,
Which is fine because Keith has yet to actually write it, so...
That's fair. Nyx actually finds someone who has seen Dells 4 weeks before, maybe. As she was recognized from the tortilla sample. So how accurate this recognition actually was is a little bit iffy. Kazakh finds an unnaturally still figure by the fire. She's a dead elf. Nyx speaks with the dead. I did not put in what was said. That might be
this working?
a Lance thing. Ilara is told, and we discover that the body is Kaelin Sunstrike, which is a really cool name. And then I have like my last little tidbit here. This is an incomplete note set. Kazakh is being hunted by Collins.
Oh, like the vampire, like the.
Collins, like
yeah.
Twilight.
Like,
Oh,
yep.
maybe I was making that joke. I don't think I was making that joke. I
It's
don't
the
know what
only
I.
thing I can
Yeah,
think
it's the only
of.
thing I can think of.
Maybe I was being funnier than I gave myself credit for.
After we discovered the husk at the elf nomad place, we all left and went back to town with the dead body. We
Almost got
lied to the guards at the gate that it was a friend of ours who had died out on the road, and they asked where we were staying and what my name was so that they could come interview us. And we lied and said we were staying at the Prince and the Scribe, and I told them my name was Connor Shepard. And then we walked through the gate after they almost recognized Lucas, but Lucas very quickly put out a fake mustache. And that was enough to get us through. We all regrouped back at the back room of Castian's house, or his shop, and we discussed that in order to banish the curse that we currently have trapped, it will require the original person that was cursed, and a very clear area near ley lines, the cursed item, and a big ritual thing. But we decided we could put that on hold because Kazakh informed us about the hunters that are looking for him. And he explained to us sort of what they do, what they are. We learned that Kazakh has so far fought off 13 of them. And we came up with some ways to maybe try and deal with them in town. Nyx asked her deity if she could use her power to help us narrow down the search, and we figured out that wherever the thing nests, it is on the north side of town. And the other ideas we had were to go talk to the dragon and ask him if he knew anything about the hunters, since they were in Faerun. And we can also try and root through Killian's brain and see if we learn anything about plane hopping.
I think that universally that was decided would be a bad
It wasn't,
idea.
actually. You'd think that. You would think that. So that's sort of where we left off, was we had decided on that. We'd also decided that until we deal with the hunter that is hunting Kazakh, nobody should be alone. And we also can't, we probably need to fight it as a group because they are really strong and really fast and regenerate health really easily. So
And also, it was sort of like assumed that they're going to be sending stronger and stronger people, or it's always the new guy. It's
Yeah.
going to be one of the two, and we don't want to take a chance on it not being the new guy.
Yep. And so we were discussing and preparing to go out the next day and try and hunt down where the hunter is. I think we figured out that they drop about one body a day, sucking the life out of it to keep themselves alive. So,
It's what it's worked out to be.
but the pattern of where the bodies were found was not. It was all
it was
over the
actually
place.
really spread out.
Yeah,
though,
it was
which seemed like it was on
suspiciously unhelpful. Yep, that was where we ended.
Anybody else have anything that stood out that they feel like needs to be said?
Oh, Cabbage is now with Cabbage.
Cabin,
Yeah, Cabin is now with Cabbage. We
Cabin,
got a
oh,
message
right.
from a seagull.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Our carrier seagull.
Yep.
Did the seagull have a pirate hat or something on it?
Oh, probably.
I don't think that was said, but in my brain, it absolutely had a pirate hat
And a
on.
peg leg. It's like
It was a
is
pirate
actually tight.
seagull.
It's a
The
rescue
peg leg.
seagull.
Yes.
I missed
that
a
would
real
track.
opportunity for it to be an albatross.
You did.
That makes me happy.
Okay.
I think that's it.
So did we decide we're all staying like in the mansion tonight? Was that
I think that was the
Yeah, we all
plan.
stayed in the mansion.
Keith, what are the character advantage stuff that we have out on the table?
Yes. As a reminder, out on the table, there is currently a Fire the Dice for Nate that cannot be redeemed. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 character advantage on the table.
I think that was a typo. I think they meant Nat.
One of them is for Danny. One of them is specifically for Chipper.
Oh no. You fired.
One of
Nate's die. That
them
was, for
was
you, I
a
think.
happy birthday, but
Oh.
it doesn't say for who. And then there's one. So I'm going to say there's 2 that are just general. One for Danny, one for Chipper, and then there is also a remaining DM advantage on the table.
Okay, so there are 2 character advantage. 1 advantage for Danny, 1 advantage for Chipper. Yes?
So there's 4 total.
Yeah.
2 general,
Okay.
2 specific, and then there is a DM advantage on the table.
Got
Okay. So you guys are spending the night, or have spent the night in the mansion. You arise the next day.
That's good.
What?
Is there a really?
I was just about to say, does anybody else hear like a really
High-pitched.
high-pitched whine, or is that just us?
Might be me.
Now that you pointed it out.
I mean, the fan on
That
my
was you.
computer
Okay,
is running.
That's fine. I just wanted. I was wondering the same thing if I was crazy and hearing something
It was
that
a test
wasn't.
to see who's old. Me and Danny are doing.
I didn't hear it, so.
I mean, I wasn't paying attention, but I've also got the computer fan right here.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Next
it's
to me.
still there. Don't worry.
Not a problem. Just wanted to make sure we weren't crazy.
Or that something wasn't about to blow up.
I mean, that's always possible.
It's a day.
It'd make
Yeah.
tonight interesting.
It's a Monday. Sure. Okay, so you guys have finished spending a night in the mansion. Was there anything that any of you wanted to do over the course of the night before you started in on whatever it is you're going to start in on for the next day?
Seems just appropriately awkward for her current state of mind.
Okay.
I will do some crafting, but it won't.
'Kay.
What I'm making won't finish tonight. So.
Okay.
I ask that there be sort of like a super high voltage ceiling somewhere, and then I offer to anybody who would like to try flying to use my peregrine mask.
Well, obviously.
Yeah. Duh.
So it gives you a flight speed of 60 feet.
Dang.
And so anybody who wants to try it, he gives a chance to try, because, you know, everybody deserves to try to fly at least once.
Okay.
I zoom around.
Okay. So you're zooming around. Lyra's zooming around.
How's it coming, dragon?
I definitely run into a wall at least once.
I mean, as you should.
Right.
As one does.
Lucas, anything that you're up to?
No.
Okay. Kazakh, anything in particular you're up to?
Mm-mm.
Okay. You're just sort of in your head about the hunters being here?
Sharpening weapons or anything?
Yeah, I mean, doesn't change anything, so yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you, Kazakh, was there a particular hunter that
The queen
sort
from the very
of
beginning.
bothered you and came after you more often than not? Or is there a particular nemesis you have?
I would say it would be more of they're a group led by I guess you could say it's to put it simply, it's basically a business, the ultimate hunting experience. So yeah, there is, a head guy. I don't know who he is. I don't know his name.
So you've
But-
never interacted with him?
No.
Would you have heard stories of him? Or
No.
her? Or...
Did you ever
Okay.
torture the people that you?
Yes.
All
I
right.
don't. That's all I have, though. I don't know who he is, what he looks like, but.
Do you even know it's he?
Sure.
You got one piece of information.
It's established now.
Yeah. So. Based off of what it's only based off of what I was told from people that were hunting me and that I had bested in battle. Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
Okay.
But usually, dying people don't lie. If that's kind of morbid.
Actually, people under torture famously lie.
That's true.
I just like the idea that he's convinced that dead people don't lie because he's never once killed someone and then had them be shown to be a liar. So he's just like, oh no, when people are
Dead
about to
people
die, they tell the
cannot
truth.
lie.
That's the way it works.
Or I could make it the truth.
That makes me like want to be on my deathbed and be like, the treasure is under the.
The castle of.
Tempted to make my last words.
We got a list.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go from there. We'll figure it out. So the morning comes, and you guys sort of regather back in the common area of the mansion. What's the plan for the day? What are you guys gonna do?
I probably have to check in with my actual job, but I'd like to
Gross.
do some surveillance. And do they pretty much exclusively hunt by night?
No.
No?
Anytime.
Okay, so I'll be doing some surveillance while I work. See if I can figure some things out there. If I can see any signs.
To say that they hunt by night is that wouldn't be something that they would do. It's anytime, anywhere, any day, whenever they find me.
Well, that's annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, do we want to just start hunting where we know that they lair?
Well, we only know that they're north of the river.
Yeah. There's
So
a lot of
that's how
space to
it
cover.
is.
They wouldn't just suck energy out in the middle of the day in the broad daylight in Main Street, so
No.
it would be somewhere maybe back alleys or
More than likely.
in the forest.
In the forest?
Do we still have that map of
Reason
the
we do that.
the?
Was that on my map? I don't remember.
Hey now.
Who's got the
I
map?
was handed a physical map with the markings on it.
That was not my map.
Look and see if it got buried with my stuff over here.
I will hopefully did not take that book
I do have multiple maps, but I don't
Because it's not here.
very nicely on my
You have
desk.
a map that just has red.
That one, that
Yes,
one.
you
Nicely
do.
that one.
Ooh.
It's got the folds.
We could just start walking the tenements in the north side of town.
But the question is, how do we lure them out? Because, it seems like they only go for, individuals when they're feeding.
There are, taking into account only the north side of the map, there is to me, a couple noticeable areas that stand out as not having a body having been found in them. One of those is the Halfling Quarter,
Mm-hmm.
in sort of the very center. The other one is the top, so that'd be the northwest section.
So what you're thinking is that they're purposely not eating where they're living?
I mean, yeah, like it is suspicious to me. Clearly they are either grabbing random bodies as they are searching the city, or they are purposefully not leaving bodies near where they nest. Now, when we looked at this as a whole yesterday, I didn't notice any specific patterns, but when I just look at the north side, it does, like, you've got a lot on the periphery there of the Halfling Quarter, but you don't have any inside of it. That could just be coincidence, but so there and in that northwest corner just seems
Are they ever
suspiciously
short
empty.
people that chase you, or are they always like...
They're usually, tall.
Okay, so they're not like...
No.
Okay.
They're
They are strictly speaking regular-sized people?
Hey,
That's racist.
what you?
Unless this one's short.
Well, yeah, see, that's what I'm getting at. It's like, they would stick out in the Halfling Quarter if they were not Halflings.
They would stick out anywhere, yeah.
So, I would suspect probably not the Halfling Quarter because they would stick out so much. So maybe we try that
And,
northwest
well, who's to say
Isn't
that
that
it's...
also-
northwest.
end?
Like,
Is that west of the Impelian Order's headquarters? Okay.
Yeah, so we are talking about this
Okay.
section.
I mean, it could also just be one. It could be a couple, but I
think
don't,
that,
I don't
like,
see why they would have a lair
It could just
nearby.
It could just be coincidence where they landed. Just when I only looked at the north side, there were a couple places that seemed noticeably absent of anything, and not for any reason I could discern otherwise.
Well, I suppose we just might
Let's
as well
don't have
just
anything
start going.
Better. Yeah, do we want to eat breakfast first, though?
I suppose we already did.
Did we?
I mean, roleplay. We can be having this conversation while having breakfast. But
Hey, we should probably eat breakfast before we
You're like,
go.
oh, we should probably. Someone just shoved it in. I got this oatmeal.
yeah, go ahead.
Yum yum yum.
Invisible servant is coming up and pouring a bowl.
Pouring oatmeal down your gullet.
No, what?
Oh.
Meanwhile, in the corner, the fountain of cheese is bubbling away.
I don't have any cheese-related trauma.
Yet. You don't have any yet.
Yeah, like I don't have anything else to do today. That is sort of the thing right now. Unless I go buy a house, which I am still...
It's not worth it.
I think it's a good idea.
You don't want to invest in this market.
But,
Would it be interesting?
no.
It's just money to spend, so...
Money to burn.
Okay. Then do we want to go check out that quarter of town and see what we can see and
I think so.
see if there's any good food stalls?
Aren't there any
do like food
jobs
stalls.
that could take me that direction anyway?
You could say you're hunting for the thieves.
Well, that's true. If they haven't given me something else that would be a reason to be over there, I could just say that
They haven't caught us yet.
They haven't specifically, actually.
So I don't have anything pending currently?
Because you haven't caught him yet.
Well, I mean, you still got the two pending that you've been given that you haven't
But I
made
have
any
done
progress
other
on.
ones since then. I did the
Smooth
thing with
hands.
the girl, like, there was
Right.
something else that I handled too after that.
Did the smooth hands
Not for
job?
the order.
No,
We
not
we
for the order, okay.
the job after that was the bank, and that was for the Merchants Guild.
So the
I
order
regret
hasn't
my
given
life
me anything
decisions.
else yet.
I bet you do.
Oh, now
Actually, I
it does.
regret Keith's life decisions.
The smooth hands job.
Hmm.
I mean, on the upside, if they're comparing your performance to the rest of the order, nobody else has caught the thieves of the Magic Ink.
This is true. I'm wondering if I should be concerned that I haven't.
I wonder if I should be prideful.
No.
I caught you very quickly. I just don't care that I caught you. No offense, you're worth caring about. I didn't mean that to sound the way that it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop talking now.
Apology may be accepted.
But
You have to wait for the apology to end. You accept it.
That's why I said maybe.
Like, keep going.
Go.
Don't let me stop you.
Is this the longest? Thank you. Is this the longest that I've been sans?
It's not the longest,
But it is abnormal.
but it is sort of abnormal. Yeah.
They're on to you.
I guess I should turn in some kind of fake bizarre
Return
information.
the slab.
Well, I suppose I could go scouting and figure out a way to maybe put some other border forces onto the
Blue Man Group.
yeah.
We did discuss that, and we did determine
Sorry.
that there is probably someone at the Order who's in charge of following up on that, and it's
It's it's
Madame
mistress.
Odessa Corell.
the woman who sold his soul to a
That's
and because we thought about what if we try and
That's
use their, and we're like, no, they'll just kill us and torture us. That's all
Fair.
they'll do.
Fair.
I would like to make it my goal to try to deface any more wanted posters.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Since I can be like a hunchback, and he
Definitely.
just has to stand against them.
Okay. So next time you guys run across one, I'll let you know.
If you guys want to look for it, I was thinking myself, and I mean, if everyone wanted to come, you can, but go talk to our friend up the hill and see if he knows anything or has anything in his collection about these hunters to better understand what we're dealing with, maybe.
He's super interesting anyway.
But yeah, I just didn't know if we wanted to divide and conquer or not.
And what are you doing?
I'm following.
I'm helpful. Sure. We'll go see our friend up the hill.
Cool.
I think he already knows. Well,
It would surprise me if he didn't have an inclination that something weird
Is
Sleep.
occurring.
yeah.
I'm wondering
Yeah.
if he will have any knowledge or any books or anything that specifically can give us more information about, like, how these creatures operate. If there's a history of them hunting people, maybe we can figure out a little bit more information about exactly like what we might be dealing with other than their hunting, because it is going to be a long shot to find them in the city unless we get some more good leads. And
Makes
maybe
sense.
we'll discover that nobody knows anything, and that Kazakh is the one who survived the longest, and this is the most anybody's ever known. But
I'm just special.
You are special.
I mean, if you beat 13 of these things, yeah.
Barely.
Unless
I
they're
haven't seen any of
incompetent.
us fight. He could be like, and you wouldn't even know.
That's true.
That.
Because the plan failed.
It's not
Every
my
time.
fault that you guys had a terrible idea of putting all of them in one spot.
it is Keith's fault for having them come out as an adorable puppy of a mimic instead of a bloodthirsty monster, which is what we thought we were
Can't it
getting.
just be everybody's fault?
No!
Stop trying to defuse the situation.
Let us murder! Alright, we go talk to a dragon about a hunter.
Gotta talk to a man about a horse.
Okay, so are we splitting the party, or are you all going up the hill?
I would assume that you'd go with, as described. So I think I just imagine reaching
Nix
out
goes
to
by
a
herself.
poster, and then you take off. I'm like, trying to get the poster, and then we go with.
If you tell me that you're doing this, I want it.
Defacing the posters?
Yes.
I mean,
Just don't get caught.
to say Nyx is hiding it would be.
There's not enough. Mom, is there? Can I put 2 of you in the backpack?
I
I'm a
mean,
half elf, so.
yeah. Should we just be like, stumble and
Oh, I
like
thought you were
quickly
half
make a little mustache on the poster?
No, Lucas is a
Sorry, it all looks. Yeah.
It's true.
Half elf.
Anything that's not a dragonborn, it's all the same to him.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, it's a blue not dragon person. That's...
I'll turn to Akai and be like, I don't know that he'll be too fond of the idea that we told you that he exists.
Oh,
so,
no. He doesn't need to ever know that. Ever.
So you're gonna have to sit this one out for right now.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. We'll be back. I'll
Wow.
Don't.
fill you in.
Okay.
Limitedly. What?
No, I am just listening.
What deserved a wow?
Your communication skills between the two of you is impeccable. I was just admiring.
You have to learn when to keep your mouth shut.
I'm not good at talking well, but I'm
No,
not
it's fine. No. I was just observing, and it was fascinating to watch.
How deep are you planning to dig this hole?
He just keeps on going.
I can fly away.
If I have a wall, I could catch you.
Walls only go so high. But anyway, neither here nor there. Just fascinating.
So I'm leaving. I'm gonna go talk to the
Yeah,
dragon.
it's-
Bye.
Bye.
Killian, if I can have a moment.
Sure. Is this a private moment?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We can step in the other room then.
Okay. So he's gonna make sure that no one else is around. He's like, so I didn't get a lot about what's bothering Simi, and I don't know if it's something you're comfortable sharing with me, but
You're gonna have to give me a
concerned.
time frame that you want to know about for when things bothering her.
Like with like.
Like, are we limiting it to things that happened in the last 24 hours?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
That would be because we discovered we ran into her dad.
I thought you knew that.
He did, but it's fine.
Okay.
He forgot.
And
It's all good.
It's all good.
Keith didn't rewatch
Yeah, no,
the
it's all
episode. It's like, and where I can understand how she would be upset by that.
Yep.
Is it worth me paying him a visit, do you think?
That depends what you plan on doing if you pay him a visit.
I'm not entirely sure, and I probably won't be until I'm there.
Isn't he
Kind of-
originally a cursed person?
Yeah.
Kind of playing it by ear.
Probably not worth it. We had a talking to him. He is the originator of our friendly jumping curse.
Great, so now I have both a professional and a personal reason to visit the man.
Apparently his absence was, according to him, because he was spirited away. Now that being said, I see no indication to believe that he's anything more than a wandering vagrant who does what brings him the most pleasure and doesn't care about the consequences. So I'm not sure that that's actually much of a valid excuse in these circumstances. But we do need him alive, and we need to not give him a reason to hide from us. I also don't know if paying him a visit would do anything for Simi, because
I'm just trying to decide if you're saying I can't be subtle.
when someone with the skill set that you or Simi has informs me that they want to pay someone a visit, let's put that in quotation marks, pay someone a visit, and when I ask, what's the nature of this visit, and you say, I don't think I'll know what the nature of it is till I'm there, it implies a certain amount of aggression. And having seen
I
Simi
can see
kill
that.
a man with her hands and turn him into a bloody pulp on the road, I'm not sure how, what you're planning to do.
I'm not planning violence.
Yeah, I don't think Simi does either until it happens. But it happens an awful lot.
There is an awful lot of that, yes.
So you can visit him if you want. I don't know what you hope to... We asked him about the nature. It was a loot that he had acquired when he was in Faerun. The loot did not make the travel back intact, hence the nature of the curse, and it's been hopping around ever since.
Right. Okay.
I'm not sure what else you could use him for.
You. Gonna go out on a limb and say you've never been in a relationship long term. Because there are certain things that.
See the point about we currently want him to be healthy, intact, and not trying to hide
You
from
are
us.
not
So-
picking up what I'm laying down.
Yep, nope, that's...
Um,
I can tell you if you want, but I have no interest in being the middleman for your relationship.
also, not
Yep.
what I'm putting down. Okay. I was going to ask where I could find him, but I don't know that I'm going to get a straight answer from him.
The Elven encampment, it's about, I forget how far away, but about that far. They might have moved to a site on the South Road, actually. They said they might move after we found the husk, but that's where you'll find him. His name's Alara. He's the
That will be enough.
head of the troop.
Even if they've moved, I should be able to track them down. Thank you.
Yep.
Wow. There's a lot to. And he's just gonna turn and
Yep.
head out the back door of the shop.
Meanwhile, Rain's like, no, it's just kind of like looking in a mirror. Watching the way that you two talk.
It's like you looking in a mirror? What?
Yeah.
How's that?
I struggle with words.
Really? I would not have guessed.
See, again, mirror here.
Yep.
So, no, I was just...
See, Nyx is double fisting croissants.
Lyra's watching this conversation and going,
Everyone else is like, no, I'm not gonna help. I imagine Killian walks back into this.
He's still talking, man. I don't know.
just crazy.
I mean, I've been called worse, I guess.
No, not that kind of crazy. Just like, you know.
"Hey, Nyx, can I have one of those croissants? Like just half of one, even."
I do it here. It's not for me. Just give me quickly, please.
And the next time
The next time he
open
opens
your
his
mouth,
mouth,
I'm
you-
just gonna
Ew.
shove a croissant in. You don't need to know she licked it.
You know, if you want to choose a different person other than Rain, at this point, I understand.
What?
I don't blame you. There's no hard feelings over here. If that's the. I mean, I'm just saying. If you've realized you're in over your head and you like out, I understand.
It's endearing.
If you say so.
So
I
weird.
don't know.
Why are the pretty ones always so dumb?
It's so pretty.
So, across town we go.
We should go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You really got to learn to shut up. you keep talking here. You kept talking about a dragon in front of the man. You really
Okay.
got to learn to
To
keep
be
your
fair,
mouth
that was
shut.
a Steven failing, not a Rain failing.
It became.
It became a rain failing.
Your rain, your Steven is showing. All right, so you guys wander across the city.
We stop
Um,
at like every snack.
She took my croissant.
I took half of one croissant.
It's practically a whole croissant at that point.
I
It
claimed
was an
it.
entire lemon. You did what?
I had licked it and everything. I had.
She loved that croissant.
Seems
She
fitting.
loved it with her whole heart.
And my tongue.
Her tongue was in the croissant.
I'm slowly becoming not the problem child.
How dare you?
I've learned to shut up.
Impressive.
So I think it's just the three of you who have spent any time in the area of the docks.
And Lucas, because
Lucas, yeah.
we had a heist at a warehouse.
And Lucas. So I would like for the four of you, please, as you're crossing the bridge
Yeah.
and crossing the river over, real close to the harbor, I want the four of you to make a perception check real quick.
11.
11?
Which one did you roll? Oh,
27.
27?
21.
21?
0.
0?
Okay.
I'm a negative
He's
2,
negative 2
and I
in
roll a
wisdom.
2. That's a 0.
I
I don't even
remind-
know there's docks in this city. I don't look that way ever.
I mean, I'm not saying you have to use it, but I will remind you there are
There are
character
two character
advantages
advantages.
on the table.
I just like this so much.
He lives in his own 3-foot world. Anything outside of that, he has no
I
object
will spend
permanence.
1 to re-roll.
Okay.
Okay, 15.
15.
I really
okay.
wanted you to roll that too.
So 15. So you
Uh,
rolled a
I
17?
think he used one of his inspirations, like personal
Yeah,
inspiration.
I used to personally.
Oh, you used to put okay. I won't note
Yeah.
that it's
It was
down there.
personal.
All right. In that case,
Oh, there are docks in the city.
all. So, three of the four of you. Sorry, Rain. As you're kind of glancing over, all of you have had reason at some point to notice and note the. I forget what I called it. The
Dominic's. Dominic's?
Demetrius.
Demetrius?
Yeah, the
Demetrius?
Demetrius. Yeah, the Demetrius.
Oh, yeah, the ship.
The
Yeah,
ship.
yeah.
So you've all had reason to notice it. As you look over, you'll notice that it's not at the dock where it was. You can still see it, you can still pick it out, but you can see that it has moved, and it's moved to an area that most of you would know is the dry dock area. Used to belong to the Empress for her naval forces, but it's the place where warships could be hauled out and
Repaired.
They could drain the water out from around it, set it so that it's out of the water, and any repairs that needed to be made to the ship can be made. So it is sitting in one of the dry docks. Now, it's far enough away you can't see any of the activity going on around it. You just know that the Demetrius has been moved. So just make a note of that as you will.
I've got my nose in a book.
The rest of the trip up the hill to visit Cassius is mostly uneventful. There's wandering food vendors that Nyx obviously, steers Kazakh toward to take advantage of. But otherwise, it's a fairly normal day. It appears in the city of Costas. No more or fewer guard patrols out and about. Just a regular, ordinary day. Until you start going by the prince and the prince and the
Not the
scribe.
prince and the scribe.
Yeah, prince and the scribe. I was about
You
to.
need you just sticky note for your computer.
It would be filled with sticky notes, and I wouldn't be able to see anything on the screen. But as you are passing by the inn, you do notice that there are quite a few more guards seem to be hanging out around it.
Are they looking around for people or just kind of?
Make me an insight check.
Pretty sure my insight's like an 18.
Yeah, sure.
What I recall,
Well, you are a cleric, so
it's an 11.
probably,
11.
Plus 4, assuming, so 15.
Okay.
Possibly around there.
If they say anything to us, the rest of you keep walking and pretend.
They are definitely keeping a watch and looking out for people, but you're not sure who.
I've got my nose in my book still.
I will start drifting away from them, from the group, to try and hide, like, so that it doesn't look like we're a group.
I think probably with
Because I think they will
that, I would do the
recognize
same
me.
thing.
And possibly me.
Well,
'cause I
so
was the
different
Oh,
thing,
different.
different thing
Different.
altogether. Different role, different scenario, different thing that we're looking out for. So they do seem to be like looking around for people, but they don't pay any particular notice to you guys. Glancing over as you pass, across the street, you can kind of see, not deep, not very far into the building, but you can kind of see into the building, and there are a couple of the city guards standing there, with a familiar figure, sort of not like held between them, but she is definitely there between them being questioned.
Who?
A particular priestess of Dunas, Ariadne.
How bad does that look? If I were to rate a scale of like, they're just asking questions, or like, we're seeing an imminent arrest.
Make me an insight check.
Wonderful. This is gonna be great.
Uh-oh. I didn't like that voice.
That's a 9.
It's a 9.
That's a 9.
Between the fact that you are trying to keep a low profile, they are inside the building and you're outside, so it's really hard to see in, and the crowds of people in the street passing between.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible for you to tell from this distance.
You can send me up to check stuff out.
I'll meet you guys at Cassius's.
Why?
What's happening?
Killian's gonna turn down an alleyway.
Hold on.
Whoa,
Rain
wait.
follows because we're supposed to not be alone.
I know.
I'll catch up with you in just a minute. I'm gonna make sure he doesn't do something stupid.
Well, no, you can't leave him at all.
Hmm?
You can't leave him at all. Wherever he's going, you're going with him now.
No, I'm gonna make sure that he's coming with us. Don't worry. I'm following.
I apparently am going to. I'm gonna sneak onto the roofs above and follow from higher up.
You are also not supposed to be alone.
I'm not completely alone. I'm just, up.
All right. Give me a stealth roll.
In the alleyway, I will look at you. You're gonna have to go invisible.
Okay.
Cool.
That's
And
a
then
26.
6. Okay. You're being pretty stealthy.
So knowing usually how this goes, do we want to just sit across the street at a food vendor and wait for it all just to sort of blow up and assist?
Okay.
They're selling shish kebabs.
I like shish kebabs.
But they're doing shish kebabs and hope this doesn't go bad.
Are you wearing some kind of disguise?
Put
Do
your
you look at me?
nondescript up.
Yes.
It's hard to tell my features currently.
Keith, when I'm in the alleyway, I'd like to activate my active camo
Okay.
and then stealthily move up onto the roof.
Splinter Cell.
Okay.
I'll just
So I assume roll a stealth.
Yes, please.
Do we want to take bets on who's the one that fluffs this up first?
Really?
What?
You haven't had your turn in that episode, so like it's a very uneducated guess.
She really shouldn't be. Well, okay.
Alright, that is a 16, and I will
Which
remind
one
you any
has
attempts
the
to
shish
see
kebabs?
me have
That's what I
disadvantage because of my camouflage.
Bob's, not Babs.
Shish kebab.
Shish kebabs.
Okay. All right. What you doing?
I'm making for the roof of the
And
Prince and
I
the
mean,
Scribe.
You wind up on the roof. Of note, you guys never got this far, but there is sort of a weird, like, if you didn't know any better because you've been in the inn, you would think it's a ventilation like tower with openable windows to ventilate the inside. You've been inside. There's no that doesn't go anywhere to the
Right.
inside.
I am looking for a window or an opening on one of the upper levels where I can sneak into the building.
Are you going to investigate this?
Sure.
So as you get to the ventilation tower, you realize that one of the sides is actually hinged and opens up, and it looks like it opens up from the inside, but it's easy enough to sort of prise it open and find yourself inside. Basically, a little spiral staircase that goes down to a fairly well stocked, very comfortable. Looks like just a bedroom.
Good to note. Looking for a different way into the building.
Okay. So there are any number of in-room windows that you could pry open and get into.
I am hoping to find one that there's nobody in it, and that the door leading into the interior of the inn is already open.
It's already open? Okay.
If that's possible.
Odds or evens?
Odds.
Unfortunately, all of the rooms are either occupied or the doors leading deeper in are already closed.
Are any of those occupied rooms, the windows are already open?
I mean, the windows, a lot of the windows are open. They're getting the breeze, but the doors deeper into the building are all closed.
In that case, I will try to crawl along the roof
Okay.
through one of those. All the doors to the interior. Okay, I'll just pick one of the rooms that's. Yep, I'll just pick one of the rooms that's empty then, and I'll open the
Okay.
window and then close it behind me. And... Are you able to keep up? Oh,
Yeah.
you can fly. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Rain and I will go in.
Okay. All right.
We don't know you're there.
Yep.
That's fair.
Are
I'm
you
keeping watch from the outside to see you. Like,
keeping watch from the outside?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you slip into one of the empty rooms, cross over, open the door to the inside. It's it's a fairly long hallway that's got doors on either sides for the other inn rooms. At the far end, closest to the front of the building, it's like an open balcony that looks down onto the common room of the inn, and then the walkway goes off to your left, and then down a set of stairs to the common room.
Oh, you can't see me at all,
Yeah,
actually.
no, I can't see at all. Are we up here on the balcony? Are we close enough that I can hear what they're discussing?
Maybe. I mean, there's still a pretty good crowd, so there's a little bit of noise, the typical noise of an inn. There's a bard proclaiming something in, high flowery prose in the corner. accompanying herself on a series of instruments that she's got sort of strung out one man band style. So it's a little loud, but maybe
I will try and see if I can make it out from here.
like make it out of the building.
No, like if I can underhear
Okay.
or read lips, or like try and see if from where I'm at, or do I need to move closer to be
Okay.
able to figure out what's going on?
Do make your perception check and make it with disadvantage.
I would like to use a cantrip in an unconventional manner.
Oh no.
So I'm going to open up my water skin, and I'm going to use shape water, and I can freeze the shape that I make, but I'm basically going to make him like a hearing horn. I'm going to try to let him get something more focused than just hear it, because the more of the room he hears, the harder it's going to be. And I'm just going to hand him this little like cornucopia looking thing.
So are you going to use it?
I guess. We'll see.
Okay. Make it a straight roll then.
Oh, good.
You are going to take. Yep.
Oh, I know.
You are going to take 4 points of ice damage.
Oh,
So-
it actually cannot do damage. It's a cantrip that specifically says that I cannot use this water to do damage. But
Also,
that is, of course, DM discretion.
It's okay if it does, because I'm going to double check. I either have resistance or I think I have straight up immunity to cold damage right now.
I'm sorry, putting ice to your ear is still going to cause frostbite.
I don't know what you're talking about, Keith. I think we could go test this right now and I'd be fine.
I could put some ice in your ear if you would like.
It's like a very uncomfortable wet willy.
Yeah.
Because they're not already uncomfortable enough. Mm. It's not,
You're so.
it's not a thing that I have experienced or care to.
What are you eating?
Nothing?
No, it looked good. What is it? It is something fried.
Crab round chicken? Oh, chicken.
How many points of damage was that?
4.
Okay. I have resistance.
Okay. So you'll take half that.
Oh, with it being a straight roll, that took it from a 10 to a 25.
Okay. So yeah, you are able to listen in on the conversation. Ariadne is clearly unhappy that she
Sure.
has been singled out.
I would be too.
Clearly, some of the old attitudes regarding what is being described as cults are persisting among some of the city guard, particularly with these two gentlemen who have got her sort of in their sights, wearing badges of the Apellian Order. So they are. Harassing is a little strong, but not by much. They are harassing her for her religious beliefs. They are clearly not uncomfortable, but they are definitely looking down on her for her practice of magic. But they don't have any legal standing to do anything about it. This is purely them.
Misuse of power.
It is
it's
a
an
misuse
abuse
of
of
power, and they are purely sort of again, harassing is slightly over the top, but it's definitely shading that direction.
Okay. How? I will wait here and see if it escalates
Okay.
or if it diffuses on its own. If I feel like it's escalating, I will
It
do
doesn't
something about it. But
So it doesn't appear to be escalating, but it's also not de-escalating either. Anytime she does try to to move past them, either to leave the inn or to move back into the common room. They move to subtly intercept her and keep her exactly where she is.
I'm gonna say it quietly, but out loud enough that hopefully Rain can hear me. Be like, okay, I'm gonna go intervene. So
Do you want me?
just
He's your cousin, man.
we're from the backwoods.
Kissing cousins.
Just back me up if it gets violent.
Okay, but I guess importantly, do you want me to be invisible to start with, or do you want me to walk with you?
No. Be invisible to start with.
Am I close enough that I'm hearing this?
You're out.
You're
said
outside.
the building.
Yeah,
we are
that's true.
inside the building.
With the
I don't
window
think
closed.
I don't think anybody can see us. So I will deactivate. I would subtly, so it's not like right in front of a whole bunch of people, but active camo off, and I'll go walk
Okay.
down to.
All right. So as you're walking up, you do hear the verbal barbs just coming fast and furious. Although Ariadne is holding her own, but she is clearly sort of outnumbered. She is at a disadvantage in this situation, if only because there are two of them and only one of her.
Right. I'm gonna wait for the next time one of the guards tries to move to keep her where she is, and have them run into me.
Okay. It
Speak into the common room area too, so they can get closer.
Sneaking will require doing what we did. Or you have to walk through the front door.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna walk through the front door and try and fade into the crowd.
Okay, so not like stealth sneaking in,
Yeah.
but like blending in.
Yeah, blending in.
I was gonna say, I don't think you can sneak in the front door
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Not like sneaking, but like. Just,
Okay, so you're gonna hop down off the roof, come around to the front door, and just be coming in as a patron.
Yeah, and be closer in.
Okay.
Try and stay so that I can get closer. Sorry.
Okay.
No, you're good. You're good. I wanted to make
Yes.
clear to you that if you're gonna sneak like what we did, you have to go in through the roof.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I'm gonna go in through the front door.
So all of this is kind of happening. It's not in the entryway, but it's just
Yeah.
like inside the entryway. They've got her kind of off, almost in a corner, but not really. Most of the rest of the patrons are giving them a wide berth. They don't want to get involved in whatever is happening here. Killian and Rain.
You can't see Rain; he's invisible.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh,
You guys, sort of as you're sort of getting in position, you do see Simi sort of nonchalantly walking in through the front door.
I wink at her, but she doesn't see it.
Yeah,
you forget you're invisible.
I did not respond.
you Simi, you do see a familiar figure, Ariadne,
Jerks.
sort of bracketed by a couple of city guards. You do notice that they are both wearing badges of the Apellian Order on their tunics. You do also see Killian very close, but kind of... It's hard to tell if he's been completely unnoticed as he's sort of edging into this thing. And you don't see Rain anywhere.
But you did see him go invisible, so you know that he's invisible.
Right. You're not there long. Sort of as this whole conglomeration of things is happening, Ariadne sort of glances around a little bit, hoping against hope to see somebody coming to her aid, and she spots you. And there's a little flicker of recognition, and she just sort of quirks an eyebrow. And she returns your shrug a little bit and starts to step around again toward the interior of the tavern. And at that point, the guy that is blocking her in takes a step to try and keep her there and runs right into your chest.
I'm gonna try and let him bounce off of me, not make it not be like I'm shoving him, but just so that it reflects
Okay.
back into him.
All right. Make me a strength check.
If it matters, Keith, I count as a large creature for the purposes of this. Do you still want me to roll?
Yeah, go ahead and roll it, just because.
Like the idea that you just catapult him across the room accidentally.
Your electricity fires, his legs lock, he collapses face first.
Whoopsie.
That'll be an 18.
18. Okay. It is enough. He expected there to be
Yep.
clear space around him because he is clearly used to people giving him a wide berth. He is taking a fairly energetic step back, hits you, not expecting you, and sort of bounces off and stumbles forward. His hands sort of go up to the table in front of him, and he catches himself and looks over his shoulder. This doesn't concern you, citizen.
Oh, you bumped into me, sir. Do we have a problem, you and I? And I'm gonna try and draw, like, I'm gonna try and give her a way that she can step out and have draw both the attention of these guys.
You are getting in the middle of things you don't need to be in the middle of.
You're the one who bumped into me, friend. Do we have a problem?
I'll be standing behind the guy who did not run into Lance, or into Killian, rather.
Okay.
I love your dress. Come on, let's talk.
So Ariadne is just going to slip her arm like right into yours and start doing the whole like, you're my best friend, and I'm glad I'm meeting good to see you, you're my best friend, and da 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 da. Meanwhile, both of the guards are sort of zoning in on you as the one that ran into you is like, you were entirely too close to our business. So I mean,
It's a crowded tavern.
and he's gonna look around.
Yeah.
and it's clear that he's like, but we're his brain is just kind of trying to work out how do I intimidate this guy that is clearly not intimidated of the fact that we are the city guards, that we work for the order. He's in the space that no one else wants to be in. But I can't say, hey, you're in the space that nobody else wants to be in. Don't you know who we are? Yeah, you can see.
He can't be like, this is official business.
Yeah,
stay out. He has to be like, but you're.
He very clearly did not say that.
Uh-huh.
But you can see his brain working on it, and his buddy sort of takes a minute, looks around, and realizes that there are a lot of eyes on him.
Yeah, I was going to say, I
now.
assume at this point most of the tavern is staring at us.
And he's also going to realize that he's kind of lost track of Ariadne. And he's just going to reach out for his buddy, grab him by the arm, and sort of give him a little bit of a jerk. It's like, and a shake of the head.
I'm going to whisper in his ear, good choice.
does his hand go on his...
Yeah, his hand goes to the
So
sword.
as soon as his does, mine, and I pull it out just a bit, but...
And he's going to go back to his friend, grab his arm, and just turn and turn them out the door.
I'm gonna walk over to the bar and make sure that they're not about to just come back in with the whole squad.
There's a spot that opens up at
Yeah,
the bar
as I
for
walk
you.
over, everybody's like, no thanks.
It's like that.
We don't want to be a part of this.
It's like that scene from A New Hope. But suddenly there's this space at the bar that shows up.
I'm just gonna give it a minute, make sure they're not coming right back in.
You don't want to sell me the sticks.
Those two are out. They're not coming back. Looking around, you do see a couple of others, a couple other guards. Notably, these are not wearing the badges, but they've been sort of keeping an eye on things. They are moving in a pair.
Yeah.
And they have been sort of circling the common room, stopping occasionally, not every table, but occasionally, just to sort of quietly ask questions of the patrons that are sitting there. Every so often, one of them will sort of take a look at a scroll and then put it away.
Gotcha.
Does that scroll look suspiciously like a tortilla?
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
It's just a regular scroll.
I will wait at the bar to see if they come talk to me. If they pass me up, then I'll leave.
Okay. They walk by Simi and Ariadne, and very carefully sort of like watching them as they go by to make it obvious that they are leaving them alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get to the bar and start walking down the bar. They get even with you, take a step past, and the one in back sort of stops, turns, and looks at you. Sort of up and down. His hand sort of twitches toward the scroll.
Mm-hmm.
He shakes his head and walks on.
Okay.
That one is just to myself, though.
So are you and Ariadne still in the tavern?
If she was trying to leave, like I would kind of follow her lead. If she was trying to leave, I would be.
She actually led you guys to one of the booths in the back.
Okay.
You get a sense that she would have been happy to go either way, and it just so happens that the opening was back into the common room.
Okay.
And she works you into the works you guys into the table. She sits on one side, you sit down on the other, and then she sort of leans in. Be sure you thank your friend for me.
Absolutely.
You would think with the regime change that certain other things would have changed too, but some people are just so terribly closed-minded.
People are assholes. How did this start?
They saw me, and apparently this, and she's going to hold out her holy symbol of Dunas, was enough for them to feel they had the right to question me.
That's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
The whole bloody lot of them needs to... I don't know why they let those people stay on the city guard force. I really don't. All of them that have the split allegiance need to be tossed out on their ear.
Yeah, Danny, everyone with a split allegiance.
But what am I saying? I do. I do recognize you, but I don't believe I caught your name before. An Ariadne.
Okay, when did I meet her before?
She was one of the people who her pouch got cursed. We ran into her on the street.
I'm Rysla. I had to decide
No-
who I was
Yeah,
gonna be.
exactly.
Nice to meet you. And what's your friend's name?
Which one? Oh.
Which one? I still love you still being like, which one?
Yeah,
The only one that helped me.
I'm
that's
dodging
Killian.
people like.
I'm gonna stand and I see
Well,
the opal that I have
do
now.
tell Killian that he has my thanks, and I haven't forgotten that he still wants to have a chat sometime.
I was the
Okay.
one that did everything.
I'll remind him in case he's forgotten, I guess.
He's standing right there. You can just go talk to him.
I am noticeably at the bar. Everyone is away from me because of this, but I am...
I mean, you could just tell him. If you prefer to stay here, I get it too.
I'd rather not put a bigger target on his back at the moment.
That's cute.
Little hard to get.
Is it?
You
Why?
have no idea.
Don't worry about it, sorry.
That man has had a target on his back since he was 16.
I mean, look at him.
He put the suit of armor for the target on his back.
I think the only way that we could do much more than what he already just kind of does himself is if we literally paint a target on his back.
At this point, Keith, I'm asking the bartender if there's a back door I can use. And if he says anything, I'm like, I don't want to walk back past everybody out there.
Yeah, and he's going to sort of. There's not a back door, but there is an alternate exit.
That would work.
Same way you came in.
Give me a moment, and I'll get you someone to guide you up.
Sure.
Is anybody sort of nearish Killian using a straw to drink their drink?
No.
You can see their straw. Their drink is slowly.
Yeah, no, straws are not a thing.
Yeah.
Just like stick your lips on top of a full of
The magical draining cup.
You know, I've never seen heraldry that has a target on it, but there could be an interesting art piece.
Yeah, let's leave it as an art piece and not a functional piece of armor. I don't think that would go well.
And
Although,
Could be a challenge.
Be like the
a trap.
as you say, but thank you again.
guy.
Of course.
Wax and wing.
I was sort of on my way to.
Yep.
I was on my way to see if I could locate the shrine, and now that the way is clear,
forgot there's a shrine of tunas. Just
now that the way is
random
clear,
alleys in there.
I believe I'm going to take my leave. Thank you once again,
Long time ago.
and do take care of yourself.
Same. Do you need like an escort or something?
No, I should be fine.
What kind of escort are you?
What?
And she's gonna reach out, may I? And she's gonna pull your hand. Ah, I see.
Oh, you just got outed. She saw your tattoos.
Excuse you.
Don't jump out at me in public.
I would. It's always a pleasure to meet a champion of one of the nine.
I'm not sure how champion I am, but you know, I do what I can.
But nobody else took the job, so.
Ah, but you've been marked by justice. Good day. And she gets up and turns and walks away.
Marked by justice. What? I'll get up too and.
I like that you think there's a deeper meaning to that. You have literal tattoos on your body from justice. You're like, what does marked by justice even mean?
Oh, I woke up with this funky tattoo. I don't know how it got here.
So, so what are you doing? Are you going to stay at the table? What's your plan?
I guess I'll go over if Killian is still at the bar.
If I see you
will go.
walking towards me, I'm just going to try as subtly as I can to be like,
Oh, okay. I just
You don't
go
wanna be
out
seen
the
with
front.
me.
I just go out the front.
You're just going to go out the front? Okay.
I was getting ready to dodge you.
Like,
Oh,
or in
no,
smack
no.
Nope.
All right. After a couple minutes after Simi sort of meanders out the front door, one of the serving lasses sort of comes up behind you and taps you on your shoulder. If you'll follow me, sir.
Sure.
And she leads you up the stairs, all the way down to the end of the hallway that you came in. Sort of looks around and reaches up to the bookshelf that's sitting there and pulls one of the books, and the whole bookshelf sort of swings out.
Nice.
There's a set of spiral stairs that leads up. The bookcase closes behind you. You find yourself back in the the bedroom that you saw before.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's almost like we were supposed to be here, huh?
And from there, if you know the way out.
Yep, out the window, and I will head back, trying to be stealthy so as to not be seen on rooftops, back to the alleyway I came up, and go back down, and then walk out to what I presume is all of these people at a snack stand, waiting to see if something terrible happens.
Sitting on the curb eating popcorn.
Yep.
Alternative
Kebabs.
visibility in the alleyway.
You just
Yep.
try and they have a kebab out of every.
You're like Wolverine.
I was trying
Wolverine
to-
kebabs.
I was like, I told you I could do it.
You
I didn't
did.
say you couldn't.
Like,
I'm just
I don't
saying.
think any of us doubted you. There was no one who dared you to do this.
If you want to try this for a second, it's like the bear claw thing that.
It's the full-on badger claws.
Try-
Trying to take
Badger
all 10. I'm like,
There you go.
Kebab.
Apparently.
Would you like to
I'm
buy
sorry,
a
yeah.
kebab?
So meat.
Are you guys back?
Well, so I was just from behind you. I'm like, all right, we can go now.
Kebab?
Where's Rain?
Yes.
I'm good. He's right here.
Ah. Are you still invisible?
No, I dropped it in
Oh,
the
okay.
alleyway before I came back out. Not worth
Floating
trying to
kebab.
dodge people the rest of the day.
Good job.
Thank you.
It felt like it was worth waiting.
That's fair.
You're not wrong.
And there were kebabs.
All right, let's go then.
Lead the way, my good friend.
Right. I remember where we're going.
Sure you
To
do.
Cassius's place.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna do the thing. You start walking, and somebody has to be like, "No, it's the other way."
All right. So you're leading.
Yeah. Going to Cassius's place.
Do you remember where it is?
Yes.
Can you point to it on the map?
Well, to be fair, I haven't like had a map
It's all-
for
it's
most
all
of
good.
the
Yeah.
most of the game. Right there.
See, I know where I am.
I know where
I don't know
as
where
long
we
as
are
I
on the
know
map.
where we are.
I know where we're going.
I know where
Lucas
we're going.
knows where he is because he knows where he isn't.
Yes.
So Lucas knows where he is at all times.
All right. So you guys meander your way up to Cassius's place. You stop at the front gate. A familiar face peeks out. Hey! Yeah. Boss expecting you?
Nope, not this time.
Okay.
I suspect it'll be just as interesting as usual.
Wouldn't expect anything less. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
Offended when
And
people say
goes through the gate up to the house.
You think they'll give us punch cards at some point, and like every third visit or something, we get a free one?
I
No.
like that idea.
free visit?
A free visit?
Or a free silence, no magic zone.
Or do you think there's like if we cut you like if we visit a certain number of times, eventually they'll just like give us our
Let
own
us in.
key?
Yeah.
A few minutes later, got the major domo with him. Come in, I suppose.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, I suppose.
Mhm.
Please state the nature of the medical emergency. What's
We
not to be indelicate, but what brings you
Oh, because
by?
we have more questions about weird phenomena going on in the city, and we're hoping that Cassius may have some information about it.
And if he doesn't, he'd probably be interested.
It's probably worth knowing.
Fair.
I think I owe him a story anyway.
Come on in. I'll go find him and wait in the library, I suppose.
Sounds good.
So, you are led to the library. Doors closed behind you.
Does anybody follow us? Like, do they do like a one in front, one in back type thing? Or
You've got the major domo with you, so you've got a guide, but it's not a one in front, one behind
Also,
kind
at
of
this
thing.
point, I feel like they like we have been here often enough because I think
That
we
would be
have
the
come
best
like
thing in the
every
world.
other week. That at this point they might just be like, "It's just down the, just go."
I just really wanted someone to look and just see like.
see your.
Well, you definitely get a side eye from the major domo, but
He's
it's
worried you're gonna drip all over
I'm
the.
just like,
They're mine.
As you guys are passing one of the side hallways, a maid sort of steps out, hands him a plate, and he in turn turns and hands it to you. if you would please, your meat on a stick,
Disarm your friend.
just so that you're not dripping all over the carpet runners, please.
So what I'm hearing is Kazik is now holding a plate underneath your bear claws.
I'm trying to think if I can eat them all.
Yes, you can.
Quickly
You're
enough.
definitely fast enough.
No.
I'm definitely gonna try.
This is like full chipmunk mode.
just hand them the sticks.
You just home.
Oh, it is so very interesting when. Never mind. The library. Close the doors behind you, and it's a few minutes before Cassius does show up. He sort of sweeps in. Still in his regular human form. He's got this long, flowing sort of very bright, almost garish silk robe hanging off of his shoulders, and it is completely open down the front and
When you say
bare-chested.
How far?
How far
open?
down, Keith?
I mean, he's got pants
Okay,
on too.
okay.
He just does not have a shirt on
Yeah,
under.
the way it was described, I needed to know for sure.
Just freeballing it.
Hey man.
No,
You
but
can't
it
make
is.
your dragon wear pants.
That'll be when we come after hours and he's just in his smoking jacket.
But no,
Slippers.
he's got this like bright, very almost garish silk robe open all the way down. He's got a nice set of trousers on. He is barefoot, if that means
You know that does nothing to discourage the rumors, right?
Who said I wanted to discourage rumors?
Fair enough.
Well, in that case, well done.
Well, thank you.
Hello again.
Hello.
Today we come to ask you what you know about slightly blue-tinted elves that leave desiccated, what was the phrase? Dehydrated bodies?
Dehydrated, yes.
Yeah, that leave dehydrated bodies behind. Apparently they like to hunt sentient creatures,
Suck the energy out of them,
sort of like vampires.
but not.
They were active in Faerun.
Well,
And
I
now
was going
here.
to say that doesn't sound like anything from here, but
No,
I know
we-
of them from Faerun.
And at least one of them is here.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, so you do know things about them.
It's not.
I mean, I've heard stories.
Oh, wonderful.
I've never had the pleasure of meeting one firsthand. Please tell me you're joking.
Oh, no, of course not. We would not be so lucky to not have this happen to us.
I also really wouldn't want to show up here with a prank. That just doesn't really feel like a great idea.
Oh, so you're the smart one of the group.
That's debatable.
Have I met you before?
I was at least here one of the times.
You'll have.
Lyra, nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Just a reminder that Lyra's one of the ones who saw him as for being a
I
dragon.
was actually fine.
Yeah.
I rolled just fine, but I mean,
He's just an attractive human.
So
He's not a human.
he's just an attractive being.
So about 2 weeks ago, a ship called the Demetrius docked in the port dock.
Yes. No, that was all correct.
Okay.
Docked and port docked.
Yeah. And apparently its whole crew had been dehumidified, dehydrated, however
Dehumidified, that's what it was.
however you wish to use the phrase, or made into husks. And since then, every consecutive day afterwards, for the last 2 weeks, there have been continually more husks being made.
We believe that it is hunting someone in the city, and we're hoping that we can maybe try and find it in its lair. But we're a little... we don't have enough information to narrow down where and if it would have one. And we were wondering if you, with your wealth of knowledge and wisdom, might happen to have any more information.
Well, seeing as I was unaware that there was one in the city, clearly I don't have any information on where it might be hiding itself
Right.
away.
Right.
But maybe if you knew typical trends, any information, what type of...
What they're called, familiarities, a picture.
Literally any information you can give
Yeah,
us.
we're just
probably more
wondering
than
if you
we
know
have.
anything more than we do that might help us narrow down where we look for it.
Well, tell me what you do know, and perhaps
It's
I
on
can
the
add to
north
it.
half of the city. Oh, and Killian will pull out this is where bodies were found. But that looks suspiciously like someone trying not to give away where they live.
Or using a search pattern across the city to find the person they're hunting and just conveniently having dinner.
Yes, both of those would be things that I would see from this map as well.
We're also any information about how they might. We're not sure if the ones here were left here after the convergence ended, or if they have some method of extra planar travel or something, or what methods they might use to track their targets.
Yeah, I'm not entirely clear on that myself. My understanding would be that, aside from myself and my brethren, there weren't creatures that weren't on their native plane when the convergence cleared.
All right.
Now, that is imperfect information. It was just an assumption. It could be that they were able to slip through and remain when the realms parted. It may also very well be that they have a means to cross the veil. That technology is not unheard of in the multiverse. It is rare, and I don't believe it has ever touched this world, but but I've been wrong. I've been wrong before.
So, do they have a name?
Their name varies depending on which world you find them on. In Faerun, they were somewhat inaccurately named wraiths, only because the true wraiths of that world were something else entirely, something not alive
They
any
drink
longer.
physical essence.
Yes, they were not corporeal creatures. So while they were called wraiths, I would not necessarily assign them that
Title.
Yes, they call themselves hunters, if that matters. Others who have been unfortunate enough to fall victim to their ways sometimes also call them hunters. I'm not sure that anyone ever has determined where they come from or what they want. They are not a race that makes friends easily.
I can imagine.
Makes sense.
Is a name enough for you?
Well, as he said, like, they've been referred to as... But yes, a name would be perfect. Unfortunately, I don't think Wraith or Hunters is going to be a
Is that
more...
not specific enough?
I don't think it's specific enough.
Gotcha.
Because, who knows? I mean, I could spend some of my ink to learn some information
Do
gathering
you know
spells.
what classification of creature they would fall under? Undead, aberration, fiend, celestial?
Blue elf.
That might help us narrow down a...
I'm not sure that anyone has studied them enough to know for sure. Anyone who gets close to them tends to become a target for them.
Lovely.
So once we catch our first one, we can figure some of that out. But
We just gotta catch our first one.
We'll be famous.
Let me see what I have in my book. Unfortunately, I didn't take.
All right,
took Commute with
speculation.
Nature.
How do you, if you were to take a random guess from what you know, how would you guess that they track their prey?
I don't know enough about them to hazard a guess. Some of the stories I've heard of them speak of their technology. Some speak of their magic. Now, I also know from my vast stores here that any sufficiently advanced technology could be seen as magic, so I'm not quite certain how I would characterize some of the stories I've heard. It may be a simple scrying spell, although if that were true, the hunt itself might not be as thrilling for them.
Right.
And
That's what we thought.
the stories all do speak to the hunt being partly for nourishment, but also a great part for excitement, fun.
Fair enough. So, hypothetically, if someone, Keith, do I know what the tower referred to itself as? Do I know that it called itself a spelljammer? Would that have been something that I saw?
Was it in the headline of the email sent into my brain?
I don't need to have any context
It
for
was
what that
more
means,
like a
but what I know that the
file
tower
than
called
email.
itself a spelljammer.
Well, the thing is, maybe it did, but not in... the real question is whether or not your brain was able to translate that, or if it's still locked away in the magic text.
Okay, so
Um,
before I name drop to the dragon a spelljammer, I want to make sure that is something Killian would know that it might have referred to itself as.
I do have that.
That'd work. Legend lore, be able to.
make me
maybe give it
a make
But I
me a history check real
have
quick.
that one. Would be the only one you'd be able to.
Can I do legend lore?
Not in this house.
Outside?
Yep, that's an 11.
You know that there was a label for it,
Yeah.
but it's still in that jumble of
that's
stuff that you are real uncomfortable about even going near in your memories.
So hypothetically, if someone had schematics in their brain, in their mind, for a tower that traveled through both space and to extraplanar locations, hypothetically, would it be possible that that tower may have been equipped with technology that could detect these creatures? Hypothetically.
That is a very specific hypothetical, my friend.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
So the likelihood that such information would have been in the schematics of such a construct.
Sounds an awful lot to me like you're speaking of... Oh, what was that word?
Magic jellies.
They look like
A
needles.
spelljammer, I believe, is what you're referring to.
And does it, when he says that, Keith, does that do anything to my...
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to make a Constitution save.
Yeah.
you start to get one of those migraines coming on.
Let's not say that word again. But that thing. Hypothetically?
He sort of puts a hand out to your forehead. Oh, you've got one in your brain there, my friend.
Yeah.
Okay. This might tingle for a little bit.
You have a TARDIS in your head.
And you can sort of, what the weave feels like. And it starts to pulse between his fingers through your skull. And the migraine sort of rolls away. And then he's right, it starts to tingle a lot everywhere.
Excellent.
And some of the chapters start translating.
Oh no.
Not all of them. I've got to be very careful. Your fragile brain is not equipped to handle.
The fitness Grand Pacer.
There we go.
Multi-stage aerobic fitness.
And then he pulls away. And it's not literal chapters,
Yeah.
but it is definitely there's information that you are now aware of that you weren't before, and it's some of the basics like multiplanar theory.
Great.
Some of the it not how to do it, but the idea that there are multiple worlds, and some of the more esoteric magic maths used to make something theoretically possible. It's like having it's like Star Trek versus an Alcubierre drive.
Okay.
You've got the theory
Right.
that was in fiction. It's like, oh, this is a possibility.
Right, this
maybe
is
kind of
possibly
thing.
what-
It's
yeah.
possible. You're nowhere near the actual practical whatever. It's the primer, is what it is. It's like, okay, that should help keep you a little more stable. I will say, if you want to hang on to that information, write it down.
Oh, yes, please do.
Because your brain is not going to be able to handle that and hold on to it.
So write down all of it?
What I've translated.
Oh,
for
okay.
you.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah, don't go near the other stuff yet. You're not ready for that.
Yep. I realized that about 2 seconds after it started downloading it into me as the external storage device.
I really have to have that story sometime.
I mean, the short version is we stopped a magic ritual to... what was the description that she used? Drive a nail through Faerun and our world to hold them together. And in doing so, we caused a catastrophic failure of the Spelljammer, but I didn't want to leave all that stuff behind. So I said, could you download the schematics into, a portable storage device? And I was the storage device.
Should probably always be a little bit more clear.
Yes. You'll want to be a lot more specific about requests like that in the future.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep, that's the short version.
You are lucky. You are lucky to be alive, my friend. You are lucky to still have a viable brain.
Yeah, we were
That's
also
the way to
lucky to leave the planar space it was in before it collapsed on itself. So
Well, I would say congratulations then.
it was an adventure. Anyway,
I'm sure.
but I will take from that no, we probably will not be able to track extraplanar movement at this
Not
time.
the creatures themselves. At the basic level, they're very much like any other creatures. They are
Sure. Okay.
flesh and blood, albeit slightly different flesh, slightly different blood, but they are just physical creatures. Perhaps a little bit more technically advanced, perhaps a little bit more magically inclined, or some combination thereof.
Right. That tracks. Okay.
As far as a ship like you are describing, not much to stand out. Now, they are not native to this world.
Mm-hmm.
So if they managed to stay when the convergence ended, I'm not sure I could help. I'm not sure the information you have
Mm-hmm.
could be helpful. If, however, they traveled here, they would have used a device very similar to the Spelljammer that you encountered before. And that, if you had the right technology,
Mm-hmm.
Or the right magic.
could be found.
That is something you could search for, I think.
Oh, a Spelljammer device? I don't even know what one looks like. I guess.
Well, that's his problem.
I suppose if you give me blueprints, I suppose I could try and figure that out.
Oh, he's not ready to draw blueprints yet.
Oh.
It's all right. Well, okay.
Let me look through my grimoire and see if just naming a thing is enough. Okay.
I would be careful with that. Spelljammers have been known to employ countermeasures against those who would scry on them.
Oh, I'm not scrying on them. I don't have that spell. Don't worry about that.
Also, past experience has taught me that anyone who owns a Spelljammer is probably not someone we want to trifle with unless we can avoid it. I'm still a little concerned that she may not be dead.
I feel like that's probably accurate. Sorry, there are some threats that probably still...
When we interrupted her ritual, she decided to leave before it blew up. So
As
she
one
has no
does.
Spelljammer anymore, but I suspect she's still out there somewhere and is probably a little upset.
I suspect you're probably right.
Well,
Rain's gonna reach into his bag and pull out a sheaf of papers. So the papers themselves have like a, what's the word I want? Like a,
I don't know what you're trying to describe. So.
you have to give me more to go off of, Stephen, than what do you want?
like a deer hide thread. I'm trying to think what those are called.
Sinew?
Anyway, it is folded over itself and sort of like wrapped loosely with a string, for lack of a better word, and he hands it to him. So that is, you asked for my story for while I was in Faerun. That is like the first year and a half. It is really dry because I just put all of the information there. I do plan on writing it down all sort of eventually in a more accessible fashion to the layman, but that is for you.
My thanks.
Since it's going to be hard, I think, especially considering current circumstances, to find time to sit down and just go through the whole story, I figured I could write it down for you.
And he does slip it into the voluminous pockets of his robe. Well, I look forward to experiencing Faerun through your eyes.
It was a fascinating place. Terrifying and fascinating.
I can imagine, yes.
I think that that answers our questions. So I appreciate
you.
the help.
Thank you.
I'm glad to be of service. We are still sort of trying to come to an equilibrium with the bank. That was quite an adventure. I do. I am glad it was you, and not any of the order that managed to make that first contact. That was something.
I'm glad we didn't have to fight it.
Me too.
Yes, she is quite remarkably sane for such a creature. I've not encountered the like. Granted, I haven't read of the like either.
That is
So-
fair.
It's not often you find a creature nearly as powerful as I.
Wow, humble brag.
I mean, also
Dragon.
also further reinforces that
Mirror.
I'm glad we didn't have fighters.
Are we saying
Mirror.
nerds now?
Simi goes plum.
Pitchfork.
All right. Well, I guess we
Yep,
go
that
and
tells us
hunting
what-
for a
Yep.
hunting creature.
So he will make a point to go to Simi, to Nyx,
Yeah.
and back to Lyra and do the whole, gentlemanly kiss of the back of the hand thing. Gentlemen, and shakes each of your hands, Kazak's included.
Rain's like, no.
You can kiss my hand.
I mean, all right, and he'll
You better be careful.
and
I'll wink at him on the way out.
Oh,
if you're ever looking for a position, just let me know.
I mean, I'm with him, but
Oh, he's welcome to.
good to know.
When one of my 20 secretaries.
as we're heading out, I'm gonna stop him and turn around and be like, so at what point do we have to institute like a punch card system? And like every third visit is just like a freebie for fun or something?
Well, I mean, if you're looking for fun, you're welcome anytime.
Duly noted.
Like, they have ponies or something?
Yep. Stallions, in
Not
fact.
gonna say that. Not gonna say that. A lot of jokes I could make. Not gonna make them.
Don't worry about it.
Why couldn't they go the equivalent of like a ball pit or a jump jump? Like, sir.
Anyway, so it sounds like we will head out.
I don't know.
Nope, not gonna.
So was that going to be enough for you?
Maybe. I mean, we might as well give her a
It
shot.
also
go.
gives me the lack of his information did for some reason give me another idea we could employ. But
What's that?
maybe we go about laying a false trail that looks like make it look like the hunter is really tracking his prey, but in reality he's just following some very carefully planned and hidden clues we lay out.
I mean,
Try and make it just hard enough to follow that it feels real.
that really depends on how he's tracking Kazakh.
That's
Like, if it's magically tracking him, then...
Talking with Cassius has only further reinforced to me that I suspect that he is not tracking him through direct magical means. He may still be using some magic, for instance, to interrogate people, or to maybe he's somehow following his scent, for lack of a better term. But it definitely sounds like they are not. They want it to be a challenge.
So we just make Kazakh walk all over the city and spit on stuff?
No. We lay out a trail that is real enough that it feels like you're actually tracking him. Because as we sort of discussed last night, like if we just have Kazakh stand on a bridge with a giant sign, takes all the fun out of it.
Like a stick with like Kazakh's coat on it, and then you touch it against trees like you trained a dog.
That only depends if it's using scent, or it could just
And
not
like,
be using
lay
anything and
enough
just trying
of a
to
trail
track.
that it looks like we've moved to a more secure location and we're reinforcing it and we're hiding there, and make it just hidden enough that when you stumble into it, it feels like a real. It feels like the real thing, like you're really tracking someone without them noticing. When in
But-
reality,
and then
it's intentionally our
Not
plan.
there?
No, we're there, but we lay it as a trap to draw it out, so that we convince it that it is hunting Kazakh when really it is just falling right into our laps,
I see.
so that we can get to it.
so pretty much we go a place and we wait.
We have to do a little bit more because we probably need to lay enough clues where it looks like
We buy a house.
we can't make it. As much as I hate the idea, maybe we can't make it too obvious that like we're hiding
Setting a
here.
trap, yeah.
Because again, then it not only takes the fun out of it, but I would imagine if you're a predator, you would notice if it felt like this was going too easy, like the prey wasn't trying to hide enough. So maybe we just lay enough clues out there and hide them. Make it look like we're trying to hide them just enough that it feels like it's a real clue instead of a...
False trail.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Except it's not really a false trail. Like, that seems
Well-
like a misnomer, because we're actually going to be there.
Right, but
we lay
It
out
is
enough
also
clues
a
to make it
false
look
trail.
like
We're
to tell the
unprepared,
story we
but-
want it to. We want
Yeah.
it to believe. So it believes it is getting the drop on us, and it has the upper hand. When in reality, it is not. Because if we can lure it out, I feel a lot better about. I am probably overconfident in saying this, but I feel like if we can lure it out into the open where we can get to it, I think that we can manage it, and we can manage to bring it down dead or maybe alive. I think the problem right now is going to be getting it to come out and it not be unexpected for us. We need to be ready for it.
Instead of us trying to ambush it in its hiding place.
Right, and we can still try that. I just, talking with Cassius has just made me more convinced that, like, I don't know that that'll pan out, but that we probably can lure it out if we lay out a trail of clues for it to follow.
Well-
They're just real enough.
If you allow me a suggestion, if we head back to Castian's place, I might do some rituals to try and figure
Yeah, no,
out.
like, if you can track it to its lair, we can still do that, and that's...
Yeah, if you'll...
I'd rather
Yeah,
that,
let's
but-
go back to Castian's, and I can probably figure out where it is. If you just give me some time.
That's fine. I have to go write down a whole bunch of weird stuff.
Okay.
That looked uncomfortable.
Yeah. I think, didn't you say that I talked in a weird language for a while
Oh, yeah.
afterwards? Yeah.
Yeah, it was full snake charming, like holy roller speaking in tongues.
Yeah, it was
Now
I learned
we-
my lesson to be
people
very
do that.
specific when I ask for things.
Yeah,
That's fair.
it was kind of terrifying.
I
That
can't
whole
even
experience
imagine.
wasn't great.
Honestly, that whole year, I just kind of wish I could black out.
I was pretty sure I was going to die hanging on that wall.
I was pretty sure you were too.
You guys look like you need therapy.
Probably.
Is that a thing here?
I mean, Castian was going to therapy, right?
Well,
Oh,
That
that's
burned
a little
down.
bit different. Institutionalization is a little bit different than.
I don't know, they sounded like therapists.
I mean, I'm sure that they were some kind of therapists. I also feel like I probably don't have time to, be locked in a hospital for however long they recommend. He probably should be for longer.
Hey,
Maybe
For all
that's
we know,
where
he
he
is.
I haven't heard anything about, a large fire happening in the city, so I think he's probably doing okay. As far as I know, none of his competitors have burned to the ground.
Were there large fires in the city before they got here? No? Okay, I guess
mean,
my brain
there
made
was
that
the
up.
day that all of the magic items went haywire when the dragons flew over.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
that, but
That was before
that was
Cassian.
that was
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't heard reports of, charred and burned bodies, or his competitor had companies burning to the ground. Like, I think he's doing pretty good at all things.
Now that you have said that, that is going to be all that's on the news tomorrow.
All the town criers.
Yep, all the town
Family of
criers.
4 found burned in the hat shop.
That's. Yeah, you don't tempt fate, man.
Don't tempt Nate, man.
And he hasn't made any attempts on my life in a while, which I also feel like is progress of a sort.
Guess he hasn't tried to murder Acherai, but also he hasn't been here.
Oh, does he also want to kill Acherai?
Oh yeah.
Really? Oh.
This sounds like a really sane individual that we are staying in his home.
Oh, he's a gem.
I'd like to point out I have never once told you that he was sane. That has never been a thing I promised you about him.
It's an
I've told you a
absolute
lot of
lie.
things about Castian. Sane was not one of them.
Yeah, glad we're staying in his hat shop.
Hat shop?
Hat shop.
His hat shop.
Cool.
Kebabs.
It's kebabs. His hat shit and
It did seem like
kebabs.
they were probably doing him a little bit of good, but I also don't know if he's not just gonna burn that whole place down too. So, I don't know. But, I mean, I guess when you've got somebody who struggles like that, it's good to have them on your side. It's just there's some catches. There's some
Yep.
catches. What?
Sort of unrelated. Sort of not. I was actually gonna ask if I could have you whip something up for me
Like
hurt
hurt
metalwork.
somebody?
No, no,
Or,
no.
okay. Or
Just
like-
a bit of metalwork that is a little bit beyond my capability.
Sure. What are you wanting?
Think birdcage, but little.
So, a small bird cage.
Essentially, yeah. But like little.
Oh, okay. How little is little?
Like put it in my pouch.
Why?
For a spell that I'm working on.
Okay. Oh no. This is gonna be the siege engine from the game I run all over again. My wizard cleric character figured out he had did the work to build up the plans, and they built a ballista, and then they're gonna enchant it to be so that he can. They built it on a small on a small scale, so then he can use the enlarge spell to enlarge it to full size. So it's small enough that they can wheel it around with them, and then use enlarge to
Okay,
full
that's
size
a really
ballista.
Good idea, though.
It is, but it's just gonna be the same thing, isn't this?
Nope. This is. I'm working on something that can hopefully help us deal. Once we have found this guy, I want to be able to get answers out of him.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Alright.
So it sounds like we're going back to the hat shop.
Okay.
Soul cage.
You guys are heading back to the
Yep.
to the hat shop.
Anything happen on the way?
Nothing happens
No
along the way.
guards. No one's being accosted in the street.
I mean, there are guards out and about, but there it's the regular patrols.
We don't have to have anyone wear a fake mustache.
We trip Lucas on a regular basis.
I still want to go through Castian's things.
I would suggest that you don't. If he
Did
is
you,
as stable
did you
as
miss the part where he's crazy?
To be fair, the pot calling the kettle black.
I am
A different kind.
I am crazy in a normal sense, not
Tell
not
me.
hallucinating.
No. But I mean, something stuck in your head and different kind of crazy.
Sure. Fair enough.
Okay.
I mean, we're all mad here. Okay.
Yeah. Well, if we get back, I want to try and do something to see if I can find a.
Okay. You guys do get back. It's about midday. It didn't take overly long running up to Cassius's place. So
Has to be worth 100 gold pieces, by the way, the cage. So I will pay for it. I just.
Okay. I'm gonna go upstairs to Castine's room and start creating a ritual.
Have we tried to get into his
No.
No.
I thought his room was just open.
Oh, we Killian won't go near it, and if any of you
Okay.
do, Killian will be like, I wouldn't
Is there
touch that.
another empty room somewhere?
Back in the hat
not
shop.
really.
Is the
There's
Oh,
probably a
is the
hidden
mansion?
space
In the mansion would still be up,
Yeah.
right?
until the
Yeah.
evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will go into the mansion and create a very specific room for myself.
Okay.
Was this like a quick conversation? Did you say there may be a hidden space? Within
Oh,
Nix's earshot.
no. We've discussed it before, though.
Oh.
Using the mansion's key, I'm going to make one wall a mirror. And I'm going to sit in complete darkness for a minute.
With a mirror? No! Stop that!
And then I'm going to use my Ring of Rituals to create a small flame.
Okay.
And using the mirror to see the shadow behind me.
Okay.
Do I see the broken tatters of my shadow?
You do.
Or do I see the two red eyes?
The eyes are there. They are not in your shadow.
Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary,
Right.
Bloody Mary.
Can I try and have a conversation with it?
If you wish.
You know, Finding that thing would be very dangerous and could possibly kill me.
Yes.
So if I knew where it was, it would be pretty stupid of me to go there, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. Are you so eager for oblivion, little fish?
I mean, no offense to you or not, but like, it hasn't been going too bad in my favor.
You still exist, don't you?
Yeah. And so knowing what this thing might be might lower that existence, wouldn't it? If it were hunting me.
Yeah, he's trying to be like, oh, you know, Satan, you know, it'd be really tempting right now. Oh no!
If you have a deal you'd like to make, spit it out. Be plain. You are not built for subtlety, little fish.
Yeah, you're right. I'd like to know where that thing is so I can go get it. Which would be very dangerous. In exchange for it knowing that I'm coming. So it has time to prepare, and I have time to prepare.
Well, let's start that combat today.
I tell you where it is.
Mm-hmm.
It knows you're coming.
Mm-hmm.
And you must choose 2 of your pretty little toys that you can use. Right here, right now, when you face it.
Now when you say toys, define toys.
You know very well what I mean.
I mean, like, are we talking my actual stuff, or are we talking about people? Like, I'm
Are you referring to
intelligent, but I'm
people I'm
not
working
wise. You know this, or else I wouldn't be making a deal with you.
So very true.
Mm-hmm.
Your artifacts, items, whatever it is you puny mortals call them, the items of power that you have access to.
Right.
Choose 2.
How's this for? Does this in just my artifacts? Not like, are we talking like magic items that I own, or stuff that I've acquired through my class?
Lucas gets out his lawyer glasses. All right, so
Any of the items of power you would normally be able to use.
Okay.
Choose 2.
And and I will be teleported to it immediately, or
Oh no.
Oh,
no.
okay.
There's no fun in that.
Oh,
only gonna use those 2 in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
I choose the one that gives me access to all the other ones.
I choose the bag of holding that has all of them.
Very well. Hold on, I gotta remember what their names are real quick. I will use my cloak, the Shadow Ward, and I will use the Sunblade, in which I carry.
And the Sunblade, Brayden. Use the Sunblade!
Those would be the 2 I choose.
Very well.
Out of curiosity, what does this mean you're not going to be able to use?
The key, my Ring of Rituals, and then all of the free spells I get a day.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
So in the mirror,
Mm-hmm.
the eyes sort of pop out of the wall behind you, and there's this just formless black shadow that they're sitting right in the middle of, and it moves up to the back of you, and these tendrils of darkness reach out and encircle your forehead, and you can feel the touch as it lands on you,
Okay.
and you feel your magic shackled.
Okay.
And the mansion around you tremors for a moment.
Wait, can there be earthquakes here?
There's not supposed to be.
And you have a sense of knowledge fill your head. And you see very clearly the hold of a ship. And within this hold, there is a you somehow know it is a vessel, though it looks like no vessel you've ever seen. It is made of something like a cross between metal and stone. It looks just large enough to accommodate a single body.
Okay.
And as you watch, the lid cracks open, and a blue figure, sort of like
Dracula's.
yeah, Dracula's up and
Stop
steps
frozen.
out.
Okay.
It is a very sort of tall, lanky figure. What you can see of the skin beneath cloak and hood is sort of this Arctic blue shade. And it walks from your view. The lid of the vessel closes and seals, and there is no scene to be seen. And as the vision fades, the shadow sort of leans down and whispers in your ear, "That's two." And then fades back into the ether. And at this point, you realize the mansion is shaking and trembling.
Guys?
And all of the rooms are all of the walls are starting to close in, even where you guys are.
We should leave.
Let's go.
We
That's
should
not-
leave.
Like,
Where's Lucas? Where's Lucas?
It's all already made man.
guys, I'm growing.
It's the scene where the girls drive by with the music playing in the car.
What did you say?
I'm growing.
Pick you up as we run.
Violet, you're turning violet.
You guys exit the mansion, and the door and disappears.
Did we run out of time?
Yes.
But
Insight check.
I don't.
That was
It's-
so.
it's-
Oh, that's a nat one.
leave him.
100%.
Yes.
So
That doesn't seem.
You saw that right?
Yep.
Okay.
That doesn't seem right. That's shorter than it should have been.
what would have happened if I'd stayed in?
Let's-
I would just.
imagine
It would
that.
have just gently placed you outside.
Yeah, it throws out anything that isn't
Supposed
part
to
of
be.
it when it collapses.
That would have been interesting.
Huh.
Or not.
I kind of feel like that's something that would feel like I got sucked through a wall by my belly button. I don't know. I don't like that idea. I don't want to test to see how it feels just in case.
Did you put me down, or am I still?
Are you doing
doesn't
aerobics?
notice. He's still.
If I'm being held, then I'm like.
Oh yeah, no. Well, and because like she can get to like my arm, which is armored, so like. Release me! Free me!
Okay, so what do we want to do for dinner? Since we no longer have access to the invisible chefs.
No, I can make dinner.
Does Castian have like a kitchen that's accessible, or
Oh,
is that in
we
his
have
suite?
set up a kitchen down here.
Okay.
It's not great, but like we have because we've had to cook down here before.
Oh, you can use my house too if you want to.
I still feel like that's a bad idea.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
You had good reasons for that.
So only things that use artifacts, correct, Keith? Or just the two
The
artifacts?
two things that you named.
Okay. Okay. I have no spells.
Why don't we just go get dinner somewhere?
Do you think we should be out and about more than absolutely necessary?
I kind of feel like we should actually. We want him to be seen moving around.
Well, I guess before we ran out of time, apparently. Any luck?
Oh, it was one of those rituals that give you sort of like a weird cryptic message,
Mm-hmm.
and I got near water.
Okay,
But,
so the ship
but dry but on water, or near water.
dry docked. So it's going to be the Demetrius.
I mean, that would.
There's a lot of places that are near water.
I mean, but
No,
that is
that's
one place
starting
that we know
place.
he already like sucked everybody's.
Yeah.
Oh,
so why
and
would he stay
maybe
there?
someone did say the other day that maybe it got hit, so maybe there's blood, and I can use the blood to track it.
Who said it got hit?
There was discussion when we were talking about that it came through. That
No,
someone
we were
said
asking
that
if it got hit, and then maybe we could have gotten it. I don't think we have
Right.
any, like, we don't have any proof that that happened.
Right.
But yeah, no, I think that's the easiest answer is we go check that out and move from there, yeah? But I would prefer to eat first.
Yeah.
Do you disagree, Nix?
I love the.
Come on. You're making faces, but you're telling me you don't want to eat?
I just didn't grow.
Oh.
I'm the same.
I'm sorry.
Would you like... Enlarge.
Congratulations, you're a medium-sized.
Like a dwarf size or something.
I mean, essentially, yeah, like you'd be somewhere between like a dwarf and a...
I'm a giant!
Huh.
You don't know what kind of monster
I can
you
eat
just
twice
created.
as many kebabs.
I would not...
Also, Steven,
Yeah, that's awesome.
consent. That is clearly not a conversation that's been had
No.
with
Uh-uh.
with this group.
Boom, boom. There's no sound.
It's an absolute, like...
You're making the sound with your mouth.
Yeah.
So you're like.
So that's only gonna last for like 60 seconds, just so you are aware.
What have you always wanted? Do you want to see the top of
Oh, wait.
shelves?
That's the
You
only
want to
thing
see
you've
the
never
top of
seen
the
before.
refrigerator?
I'm still trying to think of anything.
Pat someone on the head.
Here you go. Go for it.
Yeah, it
Wait,
only
I still
lasts
have to lean down a
1
little
minute.
bit.
Hello down there.
I'm still taller than you, but not nearly as much. You can reach me.
But while you guys are making food, I probably should go prepare in case we run into the.
Oh, I was
husk
thinking we
things.
go... Money is not a particular problem right now. I think we should just go
All right,
out
well,
for food.
give me like 5 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna finally put on some armor. Because I technically had armor running. However, I don't have spells. So that's gone. So I go put on some armor I had carrying, so...
Don't worry, if you drop below 30 hit points, you get Ataluk's Resilience Sphere.
I do?
Mm-hmm. Because that's my contingency right now.
I didn't know. Okay, good. Okay.
But you don't know that, though.
Alright, I put some armor on.
Okay.
Because I have a spell that allows me to do it, but...
So for everyone else, Lucas is putting on armor.
I
You've
don't
never.
know that I... pay
Kind of
attention.
armor.
Leather. Just basic leather armor.
So, like, why haven't you worn armor before?
It was so little.
And you are back to your regular size.
As she sang it, salute.
Sorry,
Aw.
studded leather.
Ah.
Apologies.
That feels like a thing everyone should wear. I haven't noticed that you weren't wearing it. What's wrong?
About what?
Why are you putting on armor?
Because we're going. Because I haven't
might
had
have
a
a fight.
need to. We haven't
There
had
has
to
been
fight
plenty
anything.
of need.
Really?
Has there?
We have not had a single
We haven't
fight.
intentionally gone anywhere. Why didn't you put armor on when we went to the bank?
Or when we were going to go fight all of the mimics and then we didn't do that.
Yeah.
Well, that was supposed to be a really easy, like, show
Well,
off fight,
mimics
but-
have like an acidic quality, and I didn't just want to ruin that armor because it would
you
have
would
just.
rather have the acid applied directly to your body.
I suppose so.
At that point, I am going to incite that.
Good luck.
It's kind of like if you step in dog poo, wouldn't you rather be barefoot because you could wash it off, versus your shoe.
19.
It's harder to wash off.
Not even close.
For your sake, I rolled a natural 20 for a 22.
I figured.
Why are we being weird about this?
Why
Look,
is he
I'm-
being weird?
I never had to wear armor.
He was a
Because, like,
scribe.
look, I don't. Honey, I'm not exactly a scrapper, so. Plus, I have things to protect myself. My cape, cloak helps me, and I have the sword.
I mean, as far as I know, he's also not a particularly experienced combatant.
No,
That
no.
wouldn't make sense. Yeah, we need to get you some better armor, friend.
I think it's weird.
Okay, so dinner.
I'm just glad that it's not me somebody's saying it about. Okay.
Is Akarai here? No, he's just
No,
gone right
he's-
now.
Oh wait,
he's off
where's
doing stuff.
Zachariah?
He's off doing
He's
stuff.
probably off doing Acarai things.
What are I?
Or
You're
he's
not the
beating
only
up
one who
your
lives
dad,
a secret,
whatever.
special life.
Let's go eat.
Near water.
Awkward. Okay, so dinner. There was a place I saw that looked like it was doing fresh fish
Mm-hmm.
and rice.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Huh? Anybody complaints?
No.
No.
And
Not until
you
I
know,
tried it.
that's fair. I figure that the fish isn't going to get much fresher than it does here in the capital. So
I suppose that's true.
All right, we go.
All right.
We
It's
get
dinner.
some food.
So you guys go down to a little restaurant, kind of close-ish to the waterfront. You walk in, and there's sort of two sections to it. One of them, there's this little system of like conveyor belts with little teeny tiny wooden boats that have sushi in them. So it's
Ooh.
getting pulled along, and you know, people sitting at the tables next to the conveyor belts or reaching up and grabbing what they want. The other half is filled with great big cook plates, and occasionally you'll see a chef standing there cutting things up and putting on a show. It is a hibachi.
Hibachi.
this is my
Yeah.
favorite place.
Just like, just comes to you, Nix.
This feels like it should be your dream.
It takes the fun out of the hunt.
She doesn't get to take it from Kazakh.
I was like literally imagining little boats, and so
Just
I'm like taking the boat.
Why aren't you excited about this?
I don't know if I like this fish yet.
Well,
Looks suspicious.
that's questionable to me.
Looks questionable to me.
There are no piranhas in the Amazon.
I also feel so small.
Sorry.
Um,
Okay. I could keep doing that, but on the off chance that we run into Blue Man Group,
Yes. Then I will need to be banned.
I've been poring over the map. Are you okay there,
Is
Killian?
it gonna make a difference? Yes.
Or are you just
I
more
just
worried
really
about...
don't think that. Why would it be Demetrius?
because it's empty right now,
But that
and sailors are a suspicious lot.
is exactly. So you wouldn't hang around. If that was
The
the
sailors
if that
aren't
was
going to
the
go
first
there
place, but
because
if that-
everybody's dead.
If that is the first place that you killed, why would you stay there? Why would you
Because
use
you
that as
then
your lair?
Kill,
And we
because then
know
nobody's
that
gonna look
there's,
there.
but we know there's also been people on it because the boat has been moved. They moved it into dry dock.
What is
So
the
you had to have had a crew on the boat that could move it.
Yeah, but then they leave it alone until it's fixed, right?
Yeah, but why would you? If I was using it as my lair and a crew was going to come in and move it, unless I was really confident in the way I had disguised what was going on, I wouldn't stay there.
I mean, what if the blue people did it themselves?
Moved it to. You can't just move it into the dry dock. The people at the dry dock would need to, like the dock workers and everyone would need to be on board with that. You can't just sail into one of their dry docks without them, without that
clearing it.
being cleared through whoever owns the dry dock. I'm wondering. I feel like we should search around here instead, because there's no bodies on that part of the peninsula.
I mean, there's no saying we can't do both.
Yeah, I don't know. That just seems. I don't know.
Okay, do we just like sit down or just they're like, I am focused.
So there is a hostess comes up. Welcome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it 7 for? Okay, would you prefer?
Is Zachariah coming?
I don't know where he is.
Okay, probably not then. Yeah, 7.
7. Would you prefer the sashimi or would you prefer hibachi?
I've never had
Those are
either.
words.
I mean, she pointed like left or right.
I've never had either, so I mean,
Which one is better?
Which one did you point to?
You put it this way for hibachi, so that's what I'm
So-
pointing
That works.
I like both, but your small friend there appears to the hibachi.
Everybody.
And, 2 boosters, yes.
I'm gonna
You
cast
don't-
enlarge.
You don't have to use a booster if you don't
Save
want
yourself.
to.
Enlarge on
to.
her.
Hello,
Okay.
stand!
She just gets bigger again.
Stand the entire dinner.
So when we get over and look at the chair, he's gonna look at the chair. He's gonna look at you standing next to it. I think you're as tall now as you would be if you just sat in it without a booster.
Well, I will sit
aggressively.
defiantly.
Oh no, I cast enlarge again. It's only for a minute.
You're like, oh, I can see the
It's
tail.
not
Out of spell
height.
slots.
It's just third. It's fine. Or second.
Yes.
Second little spell slots. I'm not too worried about it.
Should we enjoy a meal?
So you guys enjoy the show and the meal at the hibachi.
Okay, that was cool.
Like, ooh. Fire.
I need to learn how to do that.
No, I bet you we could do that.
I light food on
I'm
fire all the time.
I'm gonna take one of my shrimp and put it on a fork and try to like.
Make a dexterity check.
You're gonna fall.
17 plus
Oh,
5.
Why did you?
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
You're able to catch it easy enough.
Okay. This is perfect. I love this.
And it is a pleasant enough meal. As you guys are done,
Yeah.
so as you guys are done and have settled up and are heading out, a figure sort of pushes the door open and steps inside. And
Oh, it's accurate. You're too late. No food
no,
for you.
it is a. Well, there's something just not quite right about her. She's just sort of standing there, staring mostly at Lucas. And
I'm gonna try and lead, just make it look like I'm shifting, but try and keep him out of view and be like, I think somebody's on to Lucas again.
Put your mustache back on.
I think she just thinks he's cute.
Do you think he's cute?
I'm not the woman.
No, I just
Staring at
was.
him.
Never mind. It was an honest
so
question.
everyone make me a perception check real quick,
Including me.
including you.
My perception is so high.
7.
7, no? Okay.
18.
18?
15.
15?
Natural 20 for a 26.
Okay.
Oh, I have thingies. Hold on.
29.
I do that.
29?
You can just keep him
Hold
out.
on, hold on.
You gonna keep spending? You gonna keep
10.
spending?
It's the best number I've had.
Okay, so no, well,
7.
no, and no.
15 was a no.
15 was a no. For the rest of you, she's not breathing.
Oh shit. She's not alive. She's not.
There's something wrong. Something's wrong.
Should we just
And then
invite
she
her to
launches
dinner?
herself at Lucas,
Yeah, but she-
claws out,
The bear claws are coming out. Yay.
and I know that's kind of a short session,
That's
but
where
I
we're gonna
think
end
that's where we're going to end it for the night.
No, I don't want to end with a fight.
Then you can't fight.
Well, a fight. No, if we do damage to this place, they won't let us come back.
That's a fair point.
We're gonna call it there for tonight. I know it was a little bit short, but it's going directions that the DM could not foresee. So I have some preparations to do for next session. Hope you guys will join us and come back and see us. I know next week we are going to be short a couple of players, so we will probably be doing something else next week. We'll talk about it amongst ourselves and figure out what the plan is for next Monday night. So if you are interested to see how this fight pans out, you'll want to be here in 2 weeks. You can always take a look at our Discord server. That will give you an idea of what the broadcasting schedule is going to be for the upcoming week. So be sure that you are checking in on that. You can also go to our YouTube channel. Just go out to YouTube, search for Casual Cactus, just the same way the channel is spelled, and you'll be able to find all of our video content that has been uploaded. Sometimes you get a little bit behind, but everything does wind up there eventually. You can see all of the full episodes that we've done, long and short. You can see other campaigns. You can see one-shots. Lots of stuff out there. Lots of video content. Be sure you're checking it out. If you haven't already, hit like and subscribe. Make sure you turn on the notifications, and you'll always know what's happening when we put new stuff out. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Hope you guys had a good time. Enjoy yourselves. Come back and see us. And remember...
Grab your bats and grab your balls.
And if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a glass house. Good night.
Night.